Schizophrenia is a mental disorder that causes disintegration of the process of thinking, interference with a person's ability to distinguish reality from fantasy, to manage emotions, make decisions, and relate to others. It is one of the many mental disorders that affects an estimated of 44 million Americans in any given year.
As patients get proper treatment for their mental illness, they live a life accompanied by everyday challenges. While most of those challenges are dealt with in one way or another, social stigma is a challenge that hasn't been dealt with properly.
Social stigma is when people treat others with mental disorders immorally because of their false beliefs and misinformation about mental illnesses.
There are different forms of stigma against schizophrenia. They include, but are not limited to, use of negative labels such as schizophrenic, use of generic labels such as freak or maniac, false interpretation of the nature of the mental illness, stigmatizing attitude and disrespectful language, the belief that a person living with the mental illness is crazy and a danger to others. Stigma has serious effects on people living with mental disorders. It can prevent people from getting access to needed mental health services. It can cause families and friends to turn their backs on people with a mental illness. It even leads to fear, mistrust, and violence against people living with a mental illness and their families. For these and more reasons, social stigma has to come to an
end. Social stigma is just wrong, and we need to stop it. There are many ways to do so, and let me show you just some of them. Take a look. Use respectful language with people with mental disorders. Emphasize abilities, not limitations. Tell someone if they express a stigmatizing attitude. Don't portray successful persons with disabilities as superhumans. Don't use generic labels such as retarded or the mentally ill.
Stop the stigma. To learn more about schizophrenia, visit schizophrenia.com.